All right, the 2 p.m. Special land and structures meeting. Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, Director McKimmey,
Here.
Director Cockrell,
Here.
Director Cheryl, and do we have the new director already? He's not technically on the board yet, I guess.
Correct.
And
Okay.
technically, I'm a member of the public for this.
Right, okay, so then it's just Director McKimmey and Director Cockrell,
Correct.
and both are present.
Awesome. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, for public comment, there is no member of the public here, and there are no members of the public on Zoom. So that takes us to item 5, which is a review, discuss RFP bids for Fire Station 44 replacement design services. I'll just kick it off for the kind of context setting. The strategic plan that we're currently working off of talks about replacing Fire Station 44 as a priority. We have gone through several evaluations for where that facility should be located, as you remember. And the last of 3 studies came back that it should be replaced at the current facility where it is. The last step we took since then was the scoping project to see if it was actually viable at that location. And it did come back as a viable location. I'm blanking on the word that we used, the feasibility study. Right. And if you remember, we have completed our work with SVA Architects who did that feasibility study. And now we're rolling into the full-blown design architecture phase of the project. So the contract or the architect we'll be choosing here will be the architect that theoretically designs the building, is the one who sees it through construction and works with the contractor to actually see it. Maybe the best way to kind of, for those of us who are around for the last one, it would be the equivalent of the Jeff Katz consulting that we used for the design build for 41. That's what we're choosing here under this current program. It is a budgeted item for this fiscal year, which ends July 1 of 23. And that amount is in the final budget that was adopted in September. So we put an RFP out for design services for the 44 replacement. We got 4 qualifying consultants or companies to come back with bids. Those are the ones that were provided to you. I will also add that there were 2 components that we all met. One was the proposal based on what we asked for, and the second was the cost estimates about what the cost of their services would be. So there's kind of 2 parts. There's part A and part B, what they had to respond with. With that, there are criteria that we set out in the RFP, which was sent out again to everyone on the Land and Structures Committee. And this is really the criteria that is being used or being discussed today as far as we look at these 4 proposals, what the board's direction is to staff. So with that, I'm happy to start off and kind of open it to the group with item 1, which is the core design group's proposal, which is this one here, and open it up to the committee.
JB, you want to?
No, our experience with the core group, in the first to confess, with the exception of building my own house, I didn't spend a lot of time building public buildings. However, one of the things that I think is an issue is the principal architect is in San Diego. And I think logistically that presents an issue in terms of immediacy of addressing issues that may or may not come up. We can't always predict when these issues come up. And it's a little more difficult to get things resolved on a timely basis when the principal we may wish to deal with is located over 400 miles away.
I just, in my reading of their plan, so to speak, I just found them not to be a strong contender.
Just one thing to note, there was the financials for this one, just kind of, I think important to call out, they were looking at a total fee for all 7 phases that we outlined of, 1.169 million, for all of the services.
Yeah.
Okay. And so JB, just so I'm confirming on this, accessibility of the project to the district, or the accessibility of the project to the district is the issue that really.
That I mean, concern, I'd have to say yes.
Okay. And Director McKinney, it's kind of past project experience.
Yes. Thank you.
Any more comments on the core?
No, not this, no, thank you.
The next one is LCA Architect, Design Proposal Group. And Director Cockrell, I'll pass it to you for any comments.
I don't know much about it. This is the first time I've even, since when I received this packet, this was the first time I ever heard of them. At this point, I haven't called any stations that they designed that would be in the area. So I just have to go under for a review. And one of the things I did not see, unless I was looking at it correctly, was the bottom line was going to cost us. They didn't put in the right place.
Yeah, so costs on LTA Architects, their grand total not to exceed was 1.246. Yeah.
It seems to me to be kind of pricey.
Yeah. All right, Chris, you doing?
So for me, they were a strong number 2. But for me, they also had many feasibility studies and conceptual designs, and not enough actual building.
So kind of a record of success on other fire station projects.
Correct.
All right. Anything else to add on LTA?
No.
Number 3 is PBK. With a grand total lump sum fixed fee of $819,000 for all 7 phases. And Director Cockrell, back to you.
I definitely found that to be very appealing. Since we're charged with spending other people's money, I think that we should definitely be thinking about that. This is as much as $400,000 under some of the other ones. That's a significant difference. And the headquarters, as I understand it, is also geographically desirable. Even at 10th Street in Berkeley.
Accessibility of the district.
Yes, accessibility to the district, that's correct.
Director McKinney?
I like how they on many occasions gone back, fire districts have used them time and time again. So they didn't just use them one time for a project, but multiple times and several different, and they've worked a lot in the Bay Area. So if we need to go look at some of their work, we can, get firsthand. I like these guys. Like JB said, they're just across the bay.
So really, the success of other station projects is amplified by the fact that others have gone back on multiple times.
Correct, not just the one and go.
Okay.
Well, most of their work seems to be close by. Look at the fire station experience, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They've done a number of fire stations.
Yeah.
And just in Fremont alone, there's 5.
Right. All right. Then the fourth one that was submitted was SVA Architects. Their not to exceed amount was, I believe,
889, 755,
okay,
889,000.
yeah. Director Cockrell,
They were probably my second choice. Once again, their accessibility to the district would be comparable to the PBK.
yeah. And Director McKinney?
SBA would be my third choice. Just in general purposes.
Okay, so the one thing that we did put in the RFP was the potential to bring our top candidates back for an interview. So I think what would be helpful is, based on the information that I'm hearing, it sounds like PBK is the number 1 for both of you.
Yes.
You both have a different number 2 and a different number 3. Is that correct?
Yes,
I guess the question on the table then is, what would the committee like for next steps as far as evaluations?
JB,
Well, I think in first meeting would be definitely beneficial.
with all 3, top 1, 2, and 3.
Top 3.
Okay. I would agree to that.
All right, and any other comments?
Not at this time. I think that we'll know more after we meet with them in person.
Perfect.
JB,
That would be, I would echo what you, what Bruce said, I'm sorry. So just in person, I think, next step.
Perfect. Okay, we'll do that. I know we put in a original interview date is potentially this week, but we haven't contacted them and
Sure.
something on the calendar probably for January.
perfect.
Yeah. get that.
Now, would you envision the meeting just with the committee or with the entire board?
That would be a question for you to answer, or potentially Kai, as far as either best practices or recommendations.
I think you can do it either way you want. It probably makes sense to have the committee do it and provide a recommendation, but if you think that the board is going to have their own questions that they'd like to ask, then you probably should schedule it for the board meeting, because asking them to attend 2 interviews probably is a little bit of an overkill.
I'd be agreeable to just the committee meeting with them.
Sure.
If
And if we could take written questions from the other board members, if they had any, to submit to each firm, the 3 top firms.
Yeah, the only consideration I may just flag that is a committee composition is going to change between now and next month. Is with committee elections being tonight with the special meeting,
Oh, okay.
are we going to box ourselves in kind of midstream one group looking at it first and another group looking at it second.
I think box ourselves in.
You want to?
Yes,
I don't know how this is going to come out, but I would advocate whoever's on the committee, Bruce be one of them.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
okay,
So I'm hearing a committee interview with the top three
correct.
groups next month. Questions to be solicited from the entire board.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yes, awesome.
All right, with that, Kai, anything else?
Nope, I will see you all at 3.
Perfect, easy.
Cool.
Thanks.
Chief,
Thank you.
an opportunity for questions from the public side.
There is, so we can